Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Here we come, here we come. Are we live? There we go. Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about getting into these multiple contracts, larger contracts, bigger contracts, making more money. So come on in. Good morning, or afternoon, just depending on what time zone you're in. Let us know who you are, where you're joining from, and what you offer. So good morning. I should have said good afternoon in the chat too, huh? For my East Coast people. So come on in. Come on in. Let us know who you are, where you're joining from. And I'm going to pull up my notes. And we're going to get started. Today we're talking about moving beyond group programs if you're like a coach or a consultant. Moving beyond one-off clients if you're in more of a contractor role. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. And really the essence of this is talking about how to get into multiple contracts, how to get into larger contracts. Okay, let me put my thing on mute. So that's what we're going to talk about here today on the channel. So come on in, let us know who you are, where you're joining from. If this is your first time, I'm Felicia, and I help people get their first bid done fast. That's what I do. I help people get their first bid done fast. So that is the objective here on this channel. So we talk all about government contracting and small business, business topics. Okay. All righty. So I'm pulling up my notes and we're going to dive right in. Move right on in. All right. So, I know traditionally a lot of you guys may have learned to, I don't want to say it, you've learned that like, it's this way to make money in my business. Well, today I want to open it up to you as it relates to other ways that you can make money in your business, but also, in the coaching consulting world, you like to say higher ticket. In the government contracting world, or if you're a contractor where you do contracts, we say larger contracts. And so today, that's what we're going to be talking about. I don't care which sector you're in right now, but what we're going to be talking about is how you can move beyond really what you're doing, but move into larger contracts or larger opportunities, if you will, and longer opportunities, longer contracts. So that's what we're talking about here today on the channel. So if you're just popping in, let us know who you are, where you're joining from. Okay, my thing didn't update. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, it didn't update, so I'll just use my notes on my computer. We're good. We're good. We're good. I'll just pull it over to a separate screen. No worries. All right, there we go. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't update on my iPad for some reason, but I'm just going to pull my notes over here to a separate little thingy. All right, cool. So who do we have in the house? Let's see. Kershaw? Am I saying that right? From Florida? Good morning. No, for you it's afternoon. And Canna? Okay, so that's Renee from Chicago. So also afternoon. Good afternoon. DJ from, okay, so David from California. Good. It's morning for you. So good morning. Good morning. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started again in the chat. Just let us know. You let us know who you are and where you're joining from. If you know what you offer, share that with us as well. We'd like to know. Okay. So again, today, let's dive into really moving beyond if you're doing group programs or if you're doing one-off client type of work, whether it's a contract or however you get your money, right? So today we want to just talk about how you can move beyond that. So if you're a coach or consultant, professional training and development, maybe you've been told that the next step after working with clients is, to move into a group program, right? So if you're working privately with clients, a lot of times you're told that the next thing is to move into group programs. Now, if you're in construction, trucking, janitorial, maybe you're a contractor of some type, and you're working with clients, you've probably been told to grow and scale your business is to get more clients. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what happens is when we're doing things one-on-one, and it takes of our time to make it happen, we're going to max out. Like there's only so many hours in a day, and we're only one person. And so if that's how your business is structured, you're going to max out the amount of income that you can bring in. And so we don't want that to happen. And so that's why I'm sharing this topic with you guys here today. So comment for me, put a 5 in the comment if you're working with clients one at a time right now. Just let us know in the comments. You can just put a 5. If you're working with clients, one client at a time, put a 5 in the chat. And that'll just let us know where you're at. Okay, there's no right or wrong answers here, right? Everybody's on their own journey. So if you're working, or if you're just getting started and that's going to be the first step for you, put a 5 in the comment, and that'll let me know how to gear this training today. Okay. All right. So again, we're going to be talking about how you can move beyond group programs, how you can move beyond one-off clients. That is the goal here today. All right. So again, I know for a lot of you guys, you're taught to get clients, right? Get clients. And then when you get, maybe it's 10, 15, depending on your number of maxing out, start a group program. Another thing for our contractors, if you're in a position to where you're doing contracts and you're like, okay, I want to start making more money. I need to bring in more money. I want to start adding team, things like that. They tell you, okay, you need to get more contracts, which means more cash flow. But how does that really work, right? We already talked about that we'll max out at some point. So how do we overcome that and still grow our business and still have the amount of money we have coming into our business increase consistently, right? There has to be a better way, because you're only going to work so many hours out the day if you plan to have a life, if you have family, and I believe you can have it all. Okay. It's just a matter of how you structure things and being able to pace yourself in your growth. Okay. So I don't think you have to give up anything, but you do have to be smart about how you structure things. All right. So I want to give you guys some examples here and kind of paint a picture for you guys of how this looks. So depending on your price, and price correlate with numbers, you're going to have to look at quantity to reach your goal, right? So if you're doing one-off type work, whether it's one-off clients or even a group program, I'm going to give you an example of both, but you're going to have to look at it from a quantity perspective to get to your number, to reach your goal. So for example, say if you work with clients one-off, right? Private clients, one contract at a time, however you do it, one at a time. And on average, you're charging $5,000 for whatever it is you do, okay? If you get 10 clients, right? So 5,000 times 10 is going to give you $50,000, right? Now, if your goal is to make maybe $100,000 this year, depending on how long it takes you to service one client, you might can do that and hit 6 figures, hit $100,000. It could be possible, but you never know if you don't break down the numbers and actually look at it. So if that's you, your homework today is to actually look at how are you servicing your clients? How long does it take you to service them from beginning to completion? How much are you charging, right? How many of those people can you handle at one time? Or are you having to do it one at a time, meaning you service one client, you finish them, and then you can move on to the next one? And if you look at those numbers, it'll tell you how many you can do this year. And so it'll tell you where you're going to max out and what that dollar amount will be. So it could be that you can hit $100,000 with that model. Maybe, maybe not, depending on how long it takes you to service a client and how many can you service at one time. So you need to be aware of that. Okay. So let's recap that because I want you to get that, right? I want you to get that. And if somebody want to type this in the chat as I'm saying it, that's cool too. But here's the thing. So look at how are you servicing your client, your customers? Is it private clients? I don't care what you call them. Okay. But are you doing one person at a time? So whatever you offer, how much are you charging? Okay. What is that number? Okay, so maybe it's $1,000. I don't know. So say one client, the value of that one client is $1,000. Okay, and you can do, I don't know, 10 clients in 6 months. So 1,000 times 10 is what? 10,000. Okay, in 6 months. So if you do that twice this year, we came up with, what was that, 10,000? You're only at $20,000 for the year, right? If it takes you that long to get through 6 clients and you rinse and repeat, that's only $20,000 for the year. Is that your income goal? If you're already doing something else and you're like, this is something I'm focusing on, then I'm just going to add a new stream of income, and so $20,000 is cool, then that's good. But it has to start with you knowing what is your goal, how much do you want to make? Because what's happening is a lot of you guys are putting your own ceiling on the amount of income that you can make. So what we're revealing here today is how to remove that ceiling, first of all. Okay, and it all starts with your numbers. I know a lot of you guys, you hate to look at your numbers, you hate to track your money and all that stuff. You know, we all hate it at sometimes. I like to say I'm a little of a rebel when it comes to money, but we have to know the numbers. Numbers don't lie. Like 2 + 2 is 4 all day, every day. And so when you look at the numbers and you do your calculations, I don't care how you slice it. If you say, I charge this, it takes me this amount of time, it tells you how many people you can serve this year. Okay, so you have to know those numbers. The next thing, say you're able to do group programs, or maybe you're able to work with multiple customers at a time. Maybe it's contracts, right? You can take on multiple contracts at a time. So it doesn't matter what you call it, but here's what will happen. So group program, multiple contracts, okay? Doesn't matter. So say you charge $1,000, but in this form, you can take 25 people at one time, okay? Example, if you're in a let me back up. If you're in a group coaching program and you have 25 students in there, and maybe you meet with them, I don't know how you do it. Maybe you meet with so many every day or whatever, or you meet with the whole group once a week, whatever that looks like, and then you do some back end work. But we know during this time frame, you can take on 25 students at a time. So say that's your thing, or 25 clients, whatever you want to call them. You can take on 25 at one time, means every time you start the group, or however you let them in, you close it at 25, whatever. We know at any given time, if you get 25 in there, you're going to make $25,000. Now, how many times a year can you run that group and have 25 people in there? Because to make the money, you do know at $1,000 in a group, you have to get the numbers in there. So again, it's still quantity to hit the number. Okay. Maybe it's contracts. Okay. You're doing contracts. That's how you make your money. And say you can take on 5 contracts at one time, 5 contracts at one time. And maybe your average contract is $5,000. So at any given time, if you're maxed out with your 5, you're making $25,000. How many times can you go through that cycle in a given year? So the question is, how long does it take for you to service that client? Okay. If it's 5 clients over a 90-day period, well, you can do that, 4 times this year? So now we're talking about $25,000 times 4 gets you to $100,000 if that's your number. So it's important that you know your numbers, right? But that's a lot of people. If you're charging $1,000 and, 4 times this year, or however many times this year, you have to get 25 people. That's quantity. And so now we're talking about needing to have some marketing activities in place, some outreach, building awareness, being visible and things like that, because you have to have the numbers, and then you have to be able to convert 25 people every time. Okay. And conversion rates depends. They're usually lower, especially when you're first starting out. Maybe 20% of the people you talk to will actually join your program. Okay. Contracts. Maybe you're bidding 5 contracts a month, and on average, you're winning 2 a month, right? So you need to know those numbers, like how many contracts or projects do you need to bid to get a win? So what's your ratio, right? From bidding to winning. You need to know that, because if it's going to take you bidding 10, 15 contracts to get 5, you need to know that. But you also need to be bringing in 15 opportunities to bid. So you have to be able to find those opportunities to bid, right? It's like, because my thing is, what I know for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, is this. If you don't bid a contract, you will never win a contract. That much I do know. So it's like you have to get in the game. And in doing that, you're going to have to know those numbers. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay. So let's break down the numbers. So I want to help you guys break down your numbers. So I got my notes here. And I want you to figure out what your numbers are. What is it going to take for you to hit your goal? So if you know your income goal, in the chat, just put a 1. I don't need to know it. You don't have to share it if you don't want to. But if you know how much money you want to make this year, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1. Y'all like this? My coach gave me this. I have a coach too. Yep. Be your own boss. Hashtag. All right, so we got some 1s. Awesome, awesome. So some of you guys, I didn't say good morning or afternoon. So good morning, afternoon to you guys. I see you here putting your things in the chat. Bruce Peoples, your name sounds familiar. I think you were one of my one-on-one clients, weren't you? I can't remember. Like a couple years ago. But anywho, welcome. All right, some of you guys are new, so welcome, welcome. All right, so great. You know your number. Okay, so you have your goal. You know your number of how much money you want to make this year, right? We got that. You wrote that down. Write it on your paper. Okay, Bruce, you were in the boot camp a while ago. Awesome. Okay. So write that number down. How much do you want to make this year? You have it. You don't have to put it in the chat, but just let me know you know with a 1, but write it down. Okay, make it plain. I write my goal down every day, how much I want to make this year, every day. Because I want to make sure the activities that I'm doing in a given day will help get me to my goal. Okay. All right. So you got your goal. So remember, if you remember in the chat, and when we first started, I said, come on in, let us know who you are, where you're joining from, and what you offer. Circling back. Now you need to know what you're going to offer. What are you selling? Okay. Do you know what you're selling? If you do, put a 2 in the chat. If you know what you're going to sell, what you're going to offer, 2 in the chat, and then write that down. Okay. So you know your income goal and you know what you're going to offer. Yes. All right, cool. So write that down. All right, good. Those 2s are rolling in. Awesome. Great, great, great. If you don't know what you're going to offer, no worries. Leave it blank, but you need to figure that out. Because until you figure that out, you can't offer anything, which means you're not going to make any money. Okay. So definitely put that in. Okay. So one person said they didn't know what their goal is. Pick something. Shoot for something. You can always hit it and then increase it, right? I do that a lot of times. In a given month, I may set an income goal, and then within a week of the month, I hit it. That doesn't mean I'm just sitting back, chilling, relaxing the rest of the month. What I do is I increase that number. So I'm never complacent. I'm never satisfied. like, okay, I hit the goal for the month, I'm chilling the rest of the month. It doesn't work like that for me. I'm always striving. I'm always trying to get to the next level. Okay. So definitely. Okay, cool. So you guys know what you're going to offer. Okay. Some of you do, some of you don't. No worries. Okay. If you know what you're going to offer, put a 2 in the chat. If you just starting to chat with us, if you know your income goal, put a 1. If you know what you're going to offer, put a 2. Okay. So the next thing you need to know, with what you're going to offer, how long does it take you to complete that? Okay. In general, because some things can be different. But in general, you know, if I get a contract for XYZ, it's going to take me this amount of time. If I offer client services to do this, it's going to take me this amount of time. If I offer a group program, it's going to take me 3 months to deliver it. Whatever it is, how long will it take you to go from start to finish, total closeout, on a given opportunity of your product, service, or whatever you're going to offer to your clients and customers? How long will it take? Do you know how long it's going to take? If you do, put a 3 in the chat. Let us know. A 3. Let us know. A 3. And then we'll do an example of the whole thing. But let us know. Do you know how long it's going to take you? So let's say you do professional training and development. You have a training program, and you know to cover XYZ, it's going to take 3 days. Or if you do it virtually with them right now, how things are going, you guys are usually only doing it once a week, and it's going to take 4 weeks. Whatever. I don't know. You should know, right? It's your thing. If you provide janitorial services, and maybe, because you guys didn't tell me what you offer. See, so I'm making stuff up. I could have used your stuff. I told you to put it in the chat. All right. So say you offer janitorial. Maybe you know a building that's, I don't know, 1,000 square foot or feet, I should say, 1,000 square feet building. It takes you, I don't know, 3 days to clean on average. And a typical contract is usually, I don't know, for a deep clean, how often is that? How long? That kind of thing. You should know, right? So how long does it take you to do that? If you're going to maybe remodel a building for someone, it usually takes 45 days, right? Let's see, what else? Trucking. Maybe you have trucking and transportation, and on average, to move a client from A to B, or move product or whatever they have from A to B, it takes 3 days. Whatever. You should know, right? You have to know that. So how long does it take? All right. Cool golf picture. Yes, it says challenge though. See, challenge. It says we will either find a way or make one. So we will either find a way or make one. Bam. Live by that. Okay. That's what you guys are going to do here. Make it clear, and then you're going to find a way to make it happen. Okay. All right. So next, what are your rates? Right? Whatever you call it, what are your rates? How much do you charge to do the thing that we've been talking about here? You put your 1, 2, and 3 for it. So what are your rates? How much do you charge? You have to know your pricing. Let me tell you something. Let me make it clear for you. If you don't know how to price, you have a problem. Okay? If you don't know how to price, you have a problem. Because what's going to happen a lot of times, one or two things. Either you're going to always overbid, or you're not going to bid enough, and then you're going to lose money. Break even would be better than losing money. But a lot of times what happens is you lose money. It's almost like you're paying for the contract. You're paying for the project. You're paying for that client, and you don't want to do that. So you want to make sure that your rates are correct. It's pricing. Okay. So definitely you should know your pricing. How much do you charge? I'm just making a note. I need to do something on that. Break that down further. Okay. Now, remember we talked about your goal for the year. So now you know how long it takes for you to complete a project on average. You know, we're going to have our outliers and where things are going to be different. And of course, those would be different. But on average, we're talking about what your rates are, how much are you going to charge. So now you can look and say, okay, I'm charging whatever the number is, right? And it takes me this amount of hours to do that. Here's how much I will make. And I'm not saying that you necessarily charge by the hour. So that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, you know, to do XYZ, it's going to cost about this amount. It's going to take me this amount of time to complete it. And then we're looking at how many of those can you do? Okay. Because now we want to see how many of those type of opportunities do you need to hit your income goal, right? How many do you need? And so you have to do the math. Okay. Okay. So let's run the numbers. Let's run the numbers. Let me see. I don't know. Most of you guys here are new, so welcome. I appreciate that. Bruce, tell us what you offer. I don't remember. What do you offer? Emma Set is from Maryland. Oh, you offer a grocery platform. Cool. Grocery platform and IT software products. It's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then we have Canna, who is an RN. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Oh, Bruce, you're doing COVID cleaning. Cool. Do you have some contracts and COVID supplies? I hope you're thinking outside the box. If not, let me redirect you. You should go back under in the Contractors Edge Bootcamp if you're not doing this, but under the government contracting roadmap, under, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Under module 5 and 6, it talks about marketing activities. See if it'll spark some new ideas for you and some opportunities you can find. Also, you can go back under module 3, where we talk about forecasting and finding opportunities to bid. I would definitely revisit that because COVID is really, really needed right now. And I'm going to gather you're probably not looking everywhere because you should just be busy. You should be busy right now, for real. Okay, so do that. Okay, cool. So let's run the numbers. So okay, so we have somebody doing IT services, cloud migration. So that's a service. Cool. So COVID cleaning. All right. So let's say Bruce's goal is, look, Tamara's in the house. You guys know Tamara? So Tamara does a lot of helping my students in the boot camp with their certifications and capability statements and things like that. She just walked into my house. Yes, she's always over here. But anywho, okay. Maybe she'll pop in and say hi. Who knows? So let's run the numbers. Bruce is in COVID cleaning. Okay, cool. So let's run the numbers. So say Bruce's number is to make $100,000 this year. And he charges $5,000 every time he cleans a building. I don't know if that's a lot or not, but you know your numbers. Yes, she's on the screen halfway.
Yeah, I'm about to go get back in bed.
She has, so luckily she has her mask on. I don't want her germs. All right, see you later. All right, so Bruce is at $100,000 for the year. I don't know if that's your number. I'm just making it up, so don't feel pressured. And he charges, say, $5,000 every time he go and do a COVID cleaning. I don't know what the number is, okay? And maybe he, I don't know if he has a team of people or what, you know, how that works. But let's just say he charges $5,000 every time he does it. And so his goal this year is to make $100,000, which means if you think about it, that would be 20 clients he needs to hit $100,000. So, right. So we'll take 100,000. I would say, why didn't you ask Freddie to help you move that stuff?
Yeah,
So you can take the number $100,000, divide that by $5,000, gives you 20, right? Because 20 times 5 is 100. So 20 times 5,000 is $100,000. So he needs 20 clients this year at $5,000, right? Now, Bruce still has to look and see how long is it taking him to clean a building, and can he actually do 20 this year, right? Okay. And the same thing for whatever you offer. Cedar Brown is doing professional training and development. So maybe every time she does professional training and development, maybe it's $2,000. Yeah. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's I don't know, $2,000. Let's say $2,000. Maybe Cedar's goal is to make, I don't know, $60,000 this year. Okay. And she charges $2,000 per client, or every time she works with a company, whatever, right? So you got to take 60 divided by the 2,000 gives you what? 30 clients, right? So she needs 30 clients this year at $2,000 to hit $60,000, right? So the next question is, Cedar, could you take on 30 clients this year to make that happen? And so again, she would need to know how long it takes for her to work with a client and do the training. And can she do multiple at one time? Because that would get her there as well. But what you have to understand is, when you need 25 clients, 30 clients, 100 clients, 200 clients, that's quantity. You have to touch a lot of people, because everybody you touch is not going to say yes, right? So you have to think about that. Okay, but you need to know the numbers. Whatever it is, you need to know the numbers. So my question is, and I want you to type in the chat, which do you prefer? Would you prefer a lot of clients? Like you need a lot of clients to hit your number? Or would you prefer a few contracts? Right? Which would you prefer? Let me know in the chat. Put clients or contracts. Let me know. Like a lot of clients or a few contracts. Let me know in the chat. Which would you prefer? One for client, two for contracts. Okay, a few contracts. Yeah. Here's what I like about a few contracts versus a lot of clients is, you have to deal with a lot of personalities. You have to manage a lot of different people. You may be going different places, especially if you have to go out to service them, then you're all over the place, right? And so I like, just me personally, it's your business. You decide what you prefer. It's up to you. Whether you like a lot of clients or a few contracts. There's no right or wrong answer here, right? It's your business. You created it. You should be happy in it, no matter what. Okay. So if you prefer a few clients, okay, just a few clients, right? Because here's what happens when we transition into contracts. Let me tell you what contracts are and what they do for you. Contracts allow you to have fewer contracts, but a lot of times you're able to charge more, which means you don't need as many of them. Because contracts, and especially if you're venturing off into government contracting, whether it's with your city, county, state, or federal government, what happens is a lot of times they have larger contracts and for longer periods of time. So let me break this down and let me tell you what this means. So remember, we just talked about how depending on your number, you may need to service 30 clients this year or 20 clients this year. And it could be even more than that, depending on what you charge to hit your income goal. And especially if it's more than just making $100,000, which I think it should be. whether you hit it this year or not, to take your business to that next level and be comfortable in what you're doing and being able to, just show up and be present and have a great life on the back end of your business, that the goal at a minimum should be $250,000, right? Because you're going to have business expenses and you got to be able to, pay yourself on payroll, all that stuff. So, it should be a lot. But of course, if this is your first year, it might be less. That's cool. And you might still be in your job. So really, you only have so many hours anyway. So it's cool. No worries. Just telling you where you want to start focusing on. And then you should be always increasing it. Don't get complacent. Okay. There's always more to be made. Okay. So if you're thinking contracts, here's why I like contracts and I like government contracting, is because if they will have opportunities that we're talking a year contract. Right? So you could get a contract from them that's $100,000 and that's just one contract. So now what? That's why I said don't get complacent. Okay. I've had clients in my boot camp that one student won, and I'm just going to give you maybe 3 or 4 examples. One student won, I think her first contract was $88,000. So if her goal was $100,000, she only needs what? 12 more thousand. Right? Which another contract, more than likely at the rate of what she's getting contracts for what she do, is going to be more than $12,000. So she's going to cross 6 figures. Cool. Another student won a contract. I think her first one was $48,500. So theoretically, it's almost $50,000. She's halfway to $100,000, right? One contract. Another student, her first contract was, I can't remember the odd number, but I know it was $468,000. So if it was $100,000, she surpassed that, right? And so I want you to understand that, right? It doesn't matter how you get to your income goal, how many contracts it takes, but generally it usually takes fewer contracts versus if you were having to get clients, number one. Okay. Again, it just depends on what you do, what you offer, and how long it takes you to deliver as to how many you can do at one time. I mean, I had another student, I can't remember. I think it was maybe 2 or 3 contracts, maybe 2. I can't remember. Got her to $96,000. Okay. I can't remember the numbers. But I do know in less than 6 months, she crossed 6 figures. So you have to know your numbers. You have to know every day when you get up, what am I trying to accomplish? Like, what are the numbers? What do I need to have happen? And as you start winning contracts or whatever, just depending on how you decide to go, as you do that, how many more do I need to hit my goal? How many more do I need to hit my goal? And you need to be calculating those numbers all the time. And then if you hit your goal before the deadline, right, whenever you set it for, continue, set a new goal. Right? Always work those numbers. Always know what you need to hit your goal. Okay. And I referenced the boot camp because, of course, we cover all this in more detail in the Contractors Edge Bootcamp. And I'm really, really excited because we're doing some revamping with that and it's going to be awesome. So anywho, but yeah, so we cover all that in the Contractors Edge Bootcamp. Also called the First Bid Done Fast. All right. First bid done fast. That's really what it's all about. Whether you're doing it on your own or whatever, wherever you're at, if you're not winning contracts yet and you want to, your goal should be to get your first bid done fast. And I always tell you guys, you're just one contract away. If you've been watching my videos, a lot of times I sign off with that. You're just one contract away. And here's what I mean. And why I say that is because if you can get your first bid done fast, after that, you know how to do it. You have a system. It's rinse and repeat. And everything changes. Once you get that first bid done and you're awarded a contract, everything changes. If you talk to the students in the boot camp, they'll tell you everything changes. During the boot camp, like the one student, I think her contract was 48.5, whatever it was. She won that. And then during the boot camp, a couple other agencies reached out. No, it wasn't her. It was the lady with the 88, I think. Well, one of them had another contract opportunity reach out to them, and the other one had 2 reach out to them. The reason is because remember I talked about in the beginning about being visible, doing your marketing activities and things like that. Well, winning a contract makes you really visible, and you deliver good on that contract even more so. People talk. It's an industry thing, right? And so if you offer toilet paper as a product and you deliver on that contract, they're going to tell their friends if they're looking for that. And they're like, hey, check out such and such company. I just gave them a contract. They did this, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I say you're just one contract away. And what I mean is you're just one contract away from whatever it is you want, whatever your goals are, especially personally in your personal life, which a lot of times, if you're like me, it's really, for me, it's all about changing the game for myself, my family, and my generations to come. Most of the people that join the boot camp and the First Be It Done Fast program want the same thing. And so that's why I say you're just one contract away from all of that happening. I don't mean you get the one contract and you stop, but it just changes things so tremendously once you win that first contract. Okay. So I want you to run your numbers, right? You can take this, watch the replay, work out those numbers. You need to know your numbers. Okay. All right. So I'll answer a couple questions for you guys. If you have any questions, go ahead, pop those into the chat and we'll answer those questions. So yeah, if you have any questions about your number, what you should be offering, that kind of thing, or about government contracting, or about the Contractors Edge Bootcamp, First Be It Done Fast, go ahead and pop it in. Okay. So Canna says, how do we know what we want to offer? So I know someone that they're an RN and they do staffing for other RNs to get them on government contracts. You could do that, or you could get a government contract yourself. You know, I don't know exactly, you know, there's a lot to RN. So, you know, you could, you know, do other things as well, just within your scope. But yeah, they contract with RNs and things like that for sure. Now, in the Contractors Edge Bootcamp, for those that come in and they don't know what they want to offer, I help you figure that out, because we have to have a back and forth conversation. What's the most viable thing for you, that kind of thing. And we can have that conversation for sure. All right. Let's see. So let me see. Amalaset, I hope I'm saying your name right. I hope I am. If I'm not, I apologize. Said, could you refer anything to know how to price and is that proposal? I think so. I think you're asking about pricing and proposals, basically. So we do cover that in the Contractors Edge Bootcamp for sure. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. All right. I think, is that it? Let's see. We got maybe 1 or 2 more down here at the bottom. Okay. So Cedar says, what is the cost for the boot camp? Let me tell you, it is currently $1,497. $1,497. There's also a 3-pay option. That is the price for the boot camp. And let me just say, the investment is going up. The investment is going up. Next week, the investment is going up. Okay. It is going up. So yeah, my thing is, if you know you want to join it, why not save money if you can? That's just my motto. We're breaking down numbers here for a reason. I'm all about accounting background, and I'm like, you know, if you can save money, why not? If you have to wait, no worries. We'll be back. You know, you can still join us. Just know the investment is going up, but it's totally worth it, right? I'm telling you, for even at $1,497, if I was to raise it to even $5,000 and you win an $88,000 contract, a $48,000 contract, a $25,000 contract, was it worth it? Of course, right? Because then it's rinse and repeat, right? That's just the first contract. You're going to take this information and have it for the duration of your contracting journey. Okay, so yeah, $1,497 is the current investment. My Sananda, welcome. Okay, so Sandra says, I get a bunch of emails about government contracts, but I think SAMS is misleading to offer data analysis and data reporting services. I don't know what you mean by SAMS is misleading, because SAM is nothing but a registration platform. So I don't know what you're looking to get from SAMS per se. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Let me tell you something. So once you get registered to work with the government, you can't sit back and wait for them to send you opportunities either. So we cover that in the boot camp. That's not how we roll, because that's being reactive, and we like to be proactive. And depending on what you put in your SAM registration is what they may be sending you. But I don't usually get emails from the SAM registration itself. So they're probably coming from somewhere else. And it all entails what information you put in as to what you get out. So something could be off in what you put in as well. All right. So Amaset says, any databases to see submitted proposal? I haven't found any in all my years. People don't share their proposal templates. Like, proposals are a gold mine. I know people charge $5,000 and $10,000 to help you put together a proposal. So yeah, like, I've had many people come and say, oh, I've searched the internet and I can't find any. You probably won't. We don't put our proposals on online just for anybody to see. Now, in my boot camp, I do share mine with my students, but yeah, we don't just put those out everywhere for everybody. That's an investment usually to get it. You said, what were the ideas for offering COVID supplies that you mentioned? Bruce is asking. What were the ideas? I don't know if I mentioned any ideas here. Did I? If I did, you can watch the replay, because I don't remember. Sorry. But yeah, there's a lot of different places you can offer. And actually, I think I talked about it, Bruce, on various videos. Definitely go back when COVID first hit. Watch some of my, YouTube lives and things like that, because I did talk about it. I know I did. I just don't remember the ideas. There's a lot. Okay. Okay. My Sananda said I clarified that for her. Awesome. Good. Good. So you're going away with something. That's awesome. Deandra says, I'm interested but don't know where to start. So what do you mean you don't know where to start? Are you registered with the government? Do you have a business set up? Do you know what you're going to offer? When you say start, what do you mean? Oh, okay. So Sananda says she has, or he has, I don't know who it is, that they have security clearance. That's awesome. Security clearances I got to plug my phone. Security clearances don't come easy. So yeah, with that, you have some flexibility. I like it. Especially on government contracts and things like that. So that's cool. That's awesome. My DBA. Okay, so you have your DBA and cage code, which means your SAM registration is active. Cool. Yeah, so you got to find out where to look for those opportunities. It's all in the search, knowing who's your customer, and those things we do cover in the boot camp. Okay, Bruce says he has some homework. Cool. All right. Sita says, I'm new to, was I talking to you before? Let me see. No, that was Deandra said. Okay. So Sita says, I'm new to all of this. The proposal you provide in the boot camp, is it a template we can use, or do you teach us how to create what we need? Both. So it is a template you can use. I always say, any templates I give you guys in the boot camp, I always tell you, take it, tweak it, make it your own. Because one of the things I also teach is that, and you're going to learn this when you start bidding contracts, they're never the same. So we have a framework that we can use, but you're always going to have to tweak it and make it specific to that particular opportunity that you're bidding, make it specific to that particular scope of work. But yeah, we provide the template, and then of course you are to create your own template, right? Yeah. Okay. Sananda says, I'll be in your program. Awesome. Look forward to having you join us. Sita says, is the boot camp live coaching or a course? Both. So let me tell you about the boot camp. And come next month, We're doing a name change, same program, no worries, but we're going to rebrand it. And so you'll see it as First Be It Done Fast. It's still going to be the boot camp, okay, just in case you're wondering. But we're just doing a name change. All right. So anyway, what comes in the program is, or course, whatever you want to call it, you get on-demand training modules. As one of the students stated last week, when we were doing one of the trainings, he said, everything is in the training modules. Like, it's all there. And I said, I know, I'm glad you said that. So you get the on-demand training modules. In addition to that, you get to come to 6 sessions with me. So they're live sessions. We're not on YouTube, but we're on Zoom. And if you know Zoom, we're able to see each other face to face and talk, right? And have a conversation. And so that's how we host the live session. So you do get both. So you're able to go out and implement, have me walk alongside you as you're implementing, as you're bidding contracts, just depending on how many you bid in the time of those sessions. But you have me there for support to help you with that or whatever. You know, I work with everybody individually based on where they're at. So you'll have some people bidding, you'll have some people just getting started. No worries, because we're going to have a conversation one-on-one. I help you individually. All right. Let me give you guys the link. So the link is First Be It Done Fast, just in case you were wondering. If you want to go check it out, there's the link. Again, the investment is $1,497. It will be going up. Let me just tell you that. I'm being total transparent. And you know, I'm always totally transparent with this. The investment is going up. We start session 2 tomorrow. We have a call tomorrow. And so after that, I'm going to take it down and rebrand it, and then have you come into the new group after that. Okay, so we're going to start that. Also, we're going to be adding a Facebook group. So we're doing some rebranding, adding some things to it, just, you know, so yeah. And those people that are already in the program, you'll still be in the group, Facebook group as well. I had to redo my Facebook group. So if any of you guys follow me on Facebook, make sure you go and like my new Facebook page, as well as, and it says my new Facebook page is Felicia Streeter Official. And then my private page is Felicia M. Streeter. So my middle initial, Felicia M. Streeter. And I had to do that because my Facebook account got hacked. Who'd have thought, right? So we're rebranding it. We're going to start the Facebook group. And so I don't have access to the old one because everything got hacked. So unfortunate. I'm even considering, I'm like, is there another platform where we can hold the group? Would be great. That way, if something like this happens, we wouldn't lose it. But Facebook hasn't reached back out to me. It's been a few weeks. And so we're having to redesign all that part, but it's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. But yeah, so those are the kind of things you'll get in there. Oh, you're most welcome. All right. Awesome. So let me tell you guys, if this is your first time, make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right. Turn on the notification bell. That way you'll get notified when I go live here on the channel and when we drop new videos on Thursday. And that way you won't miss anything. So make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell. And if you dug what I was putting down today, talking about these numbers, give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and like this video. All right. Any final questions before we wrap up? Any final questions? All right. So I gave you guys the link. Definitely check out the boot camp. If you forget, it's always in the description of the videos. Currently, it's called the Contractors Edge Bootcamp. The URL is firstbeitdonefast.com. And you'll just see that name change, but you'll notice it by the link anyway, right? And so check it out. If you want to join us, definitely do that. Any final questions before we wrap up? Drum roll? No? All right. Well, I surely appreciate you guys coming to hang out, taking time out of your busy schedule to come learn about contracting and how to make more money in your business, and allow me to share my expertise with you guys today. So remember, you're just one contract away. All right. So I'll see you guys back here real soon. Bye for now.